what I bought. So, Derek did the video there probably 6 months ago or something like that. I don't remember how long ago it was. Anyway, he posted a thumbnail of this thing on Instagram, and I was like, that's cool. And minutes later, he sent me a text saying, you want it? I'll give you a good deal. 6 months later, we're picking it up for a good deal. I love this thing. So it's a 74, 5? 75 Bricklin. Now, the cool thing about these, Canadian made. There's not many Canadian made cars, so obviously we have to bring it back north. We just tried to fire it up, that ain't happening. We're just gonna tow it out real quick. We got a dolly on the Nomad. We're just gonna go ahead and buzz up 1,400 miles real quick home. And we're set. What's the worst that could happen? It looks like it's got good tires on it though, right?
I think they're brand new.
Brand new tires. You have to pay extra for that. So, complete-ish, it's got all, whatever it's got. Hook a strap to it, we'll drag it out. Sun's fading, we gotta get on the road.
Somewhere under there, there's metal.
I'm thinking control arm.
Sure, you don't need them anyway.
Perfect.
I think I left the hood of the gas station.
I'll just swing by and get it. I feel like they're rare, man.
Alright, hook that onto here when I back up, and then we'll give her a rip.
Will they even open? Okay, that looks cool. That's cool.
So now, you gotta get in and shut the door at the same time without getting your arms caught.
Smells nice.
Been sitting out here for months with the window down. That's fine.
Potent, I'm sure.
88 miles an hour. We'll go home in a hurry. This thing is awful. It's not comfortable.
Do you fit in there?
Oh yeah.
You look good in there.
Yeah.
Give her again. I don't think we got sparkles. Why would that change though? Mouse hit him with something? You never know.
All I know is I bought a running and driving car with warranty.
Yeah.
We're off to a rough start.
I said it was rolling.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, rolling and driving.
Oh. I must have misread that text.
Oh, we have first blood.
Yeah, no, I saw a zip tie.
Oh, you
Me?
had first blood, Dan.
Oh.
I thought Derek had first blood.
Wow.
So you cut them on purpose.
Anti-theft.
Instead of flush cuts.
No.
You think we just push it off?
Well, I'm lazy, so let's try it one more time. I think I got her flooded. And then we'll use manual labor.
Okay.
Come on, Ford! Oh yeah, she's flooded. I could see the gas laying in the intake. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna push it.
Let's push it real quick there, yep.
Pretty dark. We're driving through Nashville. That's the Bricklin behind us. Honestly, she's towing like a dream. So it is late. We're not gonna film so much of this because safety first. But we'll catch up with you guys before we
180 miles. First fuel stop, it held 13.8. So if I did the math, it was like 12.5 miles to the gallon towing. I think that's pretty good. So the only issue we've run into, which isn't really an issue, and I kind of saw this coming, is the gear ratio, because fourth being direct drive, and we have 6.8 overdrive, 0.68 in fifth, sorry. So at like 60, 65 miles an hour, it's like 1,800 to 2,000 RPM. The motor doesn't quite have enough jam, so it's on uphill to kind of go, so it loses the balance, so you gotta downshift to fourth. So we can either run direct drive at like 55 or 60 mile an hour, and then it's turning like 27, 2,800, or we go 75 mile an hour in fifth and it loves it. So we're doing one of those. Otherwise, we'll go double check the straps. Everything's fine, nothing's rubbing. I think we're okay. We're gonna try to make it maybe just outside of St. Louis. It'll probably be like 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning before we get there. The issue we're running into is weather. Tomorrow there's rain all the way to the west of us, and I would like to avoid that as much as possible. So if we can jam, I'm hoping if we can jam right now, there's good weather, stop, sleep. As the weather comes through, then we can kind of early in the morning sneak through a little bit of the weather as it kind of rolls over.
Turn left onto Daisy Drive, then turn left on
It's ready to go.
62 East.
Talk about the person with the mattress driving.
Oh, people are crazy. So people are looking at us like we're idiots. There was a guy driving with like in a Honda Ridgeline, and like he had a mattress on the back with like a strap, and the thing was like folded over like a sail. And there's idiots on the road. I gotta say, I love you Americans, but there's idiots on the road. At least we're trying to be safe.
And when we went to go pick up the U-Haul,
Was you there too?
no, but what was in the system?
Oh, so this thing, so we get there, you have to tell what kind of car you have and what you're towing and all that sort of stuff. So we go in there and say, what's towing this? So, well, this thing right here. I go, what is it? So it's a 55 Chevy wagon. The guy looks, he's typing it all in, he's like, oh, I'm thinking it's gonna be not gonna happen. He says, is it a Nomad? I'm like, it is a Nomad. So now, it's like all in the computer is a 55 Chevy Nomad towing. So all you Nomaders,
It was meant to do it.
feel free to tow. Let's do a little Google mapping and see. It's like 11 o'clock. I think I got 2 hours left in me before I'm tired. So let's get after it.
So we got to this little town. There's no hotel rooms anywhere, but an Econo Lodge, and I thought, well, that should be fine. It wasn't fine. It was very unfine. So I sacrificed my hotel payment for the evening, and now we're sleeping in the Love's
It's pretty nice for $80 though.
parking lot. Honestly, at least it doesn't smell like pee, smoke, and there's not somebody tweaking in front of us. Because
She kept asking about the car too. Made me think she was gonna get someone to come steal it.
So anyways, we'll see you in a couple hours when we're back up and on the road and hopefully very far away from this place.
Totally refreshed.
Okay, good night! So change of plans. We were gonna sleep in the front seat and then decide to sleep in the back, so we've moved everything to make like a makeshift bed. But then we were moving the cooler out and all of the water and ice dumped. So the bottom half of us is wet. The top half of us is just uncomfortable. But again, we're not in a very sketchy hotel room. So all of our stuff is like piled in the front.
It's fine.
We're gonna try to sleep for a couple hours.
I blame the Bricklin.
We'll see you in the morning, hopefully alive. Good morning.
Slept good.
So we're just reloading everything back into the back. The oh, I look great. The floor is still pretty wet from where we spilled the cooler. So that's gonna be nice and like swampy today. Well, honestly, all in all, like it wasn't the worst sleep. We were just saying we could have used like a piece of foam and a blanket because we both got pretty cold actually.
So, supposed to start wearing Byron Midland, I don't know where we are.
Wherever we are, it's
Marion, Illinois. It's supposed to rain here at noon. It's 5:30 in the morning. And then St. Louis is supposed to start raining at like 11. It's currently raining in Kansas, but it's supposed to stop at 10. So hopefully we can kind of run through there. At some point, I assume we'll drive through the rain. But maybe we can stop for breakfast or something like that at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because I think St. Louis is only what, a couple hours away at this point. And then I don't know how far St. Louis was from Kansas City. It wasn't too bad. So we're gonna get motoring, get this thing fired up, piss all these people off, let it warm up a little bit. Go from there. I just put the first quart of oil in, so we're at 3,500 miles or something like that, and it used a quart of oil, so not too bad. We'll probably use an oil change, but we'll do that at home. 'Cause I'm tired. Morning. We're rolling now.
With a Bricklin behind us. People at our gas station hotel for the night were very interested in the Bricklin, and they were very interested in the fact that we were towing it with a 55. The roads are nice and empty. Alright, well, we have giant sodas, a bunch of candy, and it is 8:18 in the morning. We've already been on the road for like 3 hours.
Yeah, we just got through St. Louis. Well, not quite that long. About 175 miles on or something like that. 12 miles a gallon still, so we're doing okay. Car's still there. Double checking straps every now and again.
A lot of people keep asking if it's a DeLorean.
DeLorean. It is not.
We picked a little bit of rain, but not that much rain. We'll be out of it pretty soon here, it looks like.
Hopefully it's raining in Kansas and we're in Columbia maybe? I don't know. So hopefully we're in a little transition section. We should actually check the weather in Kansas and see what it's like, because I don't feel like driving in a pile of rain. A little sprinkling I can handle, but big tires in this thing don't like the rain as it is, and probably not the best with the priceless artifact in the back. Hanging in there though. Yeah, it started raining a little bit. I feel a little tired, so I think we're gonna maybe just chill out for a little, have a little nap. I don't really feel like there's any wind blowing anything too much, so we'll see. But it's pouring rain in Kansas, so we're 2 hours away from there. And it's not supposed to stop raining there for another like 3 hours, so we're doing pretty good for time. So then we're gonna rest here for a little bit and maybe a snack. And back on the road shortly. Well, we're a little ways outside of Kansas. Apparently it's raining pretty good there still. We hit a little bit of rain on the way through. And I decided, you know what, we're just gonna get a hotel. This thing, you know, it's got the slicks on it, towing a dolly with miscellaneous. It's not doing bad. But I think it's, you know when to hold them, know when to fold them kind of situation. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, this thing's a real gem. Anyways, so I'm just gonna kind of hang out in the hotel for a few hours, have a nap, maybe get something to eat, and then hopefully by 4 o'clock or so it'll be good. We'll start jamming and get somewhere tonight or later on today.
All right, Kansas City. Are we feeling better?
Yeah, we avoided the rain. Not a little good food. It's like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Ready to drive all night. It's a little cooler. Car's still there. No one's offered me money. I can't believe it. Thought I could double my money, you know? Sell it for $1,000 or something.
I'll tell you what, 3 days on the road and 1 night in the car does not make a girl look good. But we have a hotel tonight. I called and booked. It was chaos, but we got it. So headed to Sioux Falls, stay the night, and hopefully gives the thing a nice wash tomorrow because she looks rough. So we called her to say Happy Father's Day. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow. Hello.
Morning. So, hopefully last day of travel. We're gonna go and drive this thing, get into a truck wash and blow all the junk off of it because this thing is actually staying in the United States. I don't know if I said that or not. So we have an undisclosed, super safe location for it, kind of close to the border, so we can kind of get it. There's a bunch of paperwork and whatnot you have to get sorted out, and I didn't do any of that because I was unsure how far we were going to make it and all sorts of stuff. So we'll come back and get it at some point. But this thing is just covered in junk and ants, and there's crap in the back, and there's some of our gear in it. So we're going to drive a couple hours closer to home. There's a car wash on the way, like a big truck wash. Blow it all off, do a little film of that, maybe go through the car itself. We haven't really done that. We've just been trying to get some miles on to get home. And yeah, so we'll see you in like 3 hours. Everything's 3 hours. 2 tanks of fuel.
Yeah, Tiff was seeing me the whole time.
That's how she goes. Let's roll. So we made it to a car wash. We're gonna blow this thing off. By the looks of it, Derek used this thing, and I think he just parked it in the bush when he was done. That was it. So there's all sorts of junk and stuff in it. We'll go through, we'll pull out stuff and wash it off. There's bugs and ant farm and all sorts of stuff in there. So we'll get the camera set up and we'll blast this thing clean. So now we're at the part of the video where we can actually look at the car. So we went and got it kind of late on whatever day it was. Derek and Jessica just got back from power tour. We didn't want to kind of bug them too much. So I knew what I was buying. I mean, it is what it is. Hooked it up and ran. Yesterday we just pounded on like 750 miles. And today we're almost in North Dakota. And we just pulled into a truck wash, give this thing a wash because it's going to sit for a little bit. And honestly, I wanted to see what it looked like. So it's a 75 Bricklin SV-1, safety vehicle number 1. And they didn't make many of these things. I think they made like 3,000 or so, 74.5 and a few in 76. I don't know a whole lot about these. I know they're built in Canada, so we wanted one. And that's about it. They're kind of a parts bin hot rod. They got Ford motor trans. They got like AMC interior bits and front end, like a Hornet front end apparently, I think. So everything's kind of available. The hard stuff is gonna be the body stuff. Now the only thing that Derek had misplaced was the hood. So if you happen to know somebody who has a hood for a Bricklin, I'll take a deal on it. It did run and drive, but overheated. If you watch his video, I'm sure it's all there. It's got a bazillion views on it, so everyone knows this car. I mean, realistically, I think it needs kind of a really good going over. You know, go through the front end, go through the brakes, figure out what the overheating issue is. Obviously, it's gungy inside and stuff like that. Now, The kind of cool part about this, and he mentioned in his video, and I don't know much about this stuff or whatever, he's the one that knows about how long stuff is sat. He thinks it's sat or hasn't been on the road for 40 years. I guess it's got an old plate on it, and the odometer reads like 9,000 miles. So if it's 75, and I guess the plate they stopped using like 82, so it can only be on the road for like 7 or 8 years. When you go inside, it is scuzzy in a lot of ways, but hang on. Like the brake pedal and the gas pedal are like brand new.
Holy,
they haven't like usually get all beat up and kind of wore out.
The dash looks really cool.
It's gungy. You're like in the death zone here.
Well,
what I love is how Derek just left it. There's like Red Bull cans. There's still a bunch of batteries in there. He said, just take it all. I'm like, all right. So these things have terrible doors. They were a hydraulic system. They sell an air system now, which I guess is a little better. So we'll probably do something along those lines. Murr is the one that really convinced me to get this thing. I think he wants it. So little father-son project, Murr, huh? It's kind of cool when you're sitting in there. It's got a bunch of kind of looks to it. I mean, it kind of has a DeLorean look. It kind of has a Nissan, like a 240 look. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird all around, but it's all there. From what I see, it just towed, I don't know what we've done. I think it's 1,400 miles the total. We still got a little bit left to go. Look at all this, like just, he left everything in here. Fan. We'll have to take a few parts home with us. Speed Tool. It's not a vice grip brand. Oh, it's like a $100 fuel pump. All sorts of treasures. So we'll go through the thing before we drop it off and take her home. But realistically, yeah. So if you have any Bricklin information or have any Bricklin stuff, let me know. It's gonna be stored for, I'm hoping it won't take too long, and I can get all the paperwork sorted out and go across the board. I just know it's a bit of a hassle, and I want to make sure I do that right because I've heard horror stories. Well, the boss was telling me as we were on power tours, like, oh yeah, you want to make sure all your paperwork, because they can, if it's wrong, they'll take the car, your trailer, your truck, it's pulling it, like it's bad. So, friendly Canada. Anywho, I think that's kind of about it with this hot rod. We didn't even open this door. It's missing glass on that side. We have this piece here. So what I do know about these Bricklins, they were safety was their deal. So they got 10-mile-an-hour bumpers. Ugly. The front's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. It's got your flipper headlights. It's got this kind of weird bumper and stuff. Everything was like safety red, safety orange, safety white. I don't know if safety white is their deal, but the whole way they kind of sold it was, it's got these bumpers on it. It's got a decent motor. You get out of its way, around that. Safety colors. So I get what they're trying to do. There's like a roll bar or something in it, or a rollover bar, which back in like 1975 was like, kind of honky tonkin'. I know it looks goofy, but you gotta think back in 1975, what did a car look like? And then this came out. This is kind of neat, and it's kind of so old it's new again. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's lots I'm missing on it. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I had dreams of maybe an LS in it, or I mean, maybe we just get this 351 running if it's got 9,000 miles on it. Put a 4-barrel intake and a carburetor on it, and just drive it as is. It looks scungy, but I think it just needs a little bit of work. The whole thing is it's fiberglass with like an acrylic on top, so the paint is actually inside the material. So this thing's had a hard life of sitting outside. I mean, it's really badly cracked and whatnot. But I believe what we can do here is we just got to kind of V out some of these cracks, kind of like fixing a Corvette. We'll V it all out. You fill it with fiberglass, we'll smooth it, and then apparently you can coat the entire thing with some sort of like a special water-based primer, and then you can just paint it with normal paint. So I mean, it's white, easy to paint. So yeah, you can see here, this is the fiberglass on the bottom, that's the acrylic-y stuff on top. So it's bathtub stuff, but I mean, she ain't gonna dent. It's a relatively square car, obviously. I mean, you don't gotta worry about dents or nothing like that in it. So we get this top piece on, we flatten out the roof a little bit. It's lifting just a little. We fix a few things like that. I actually think it would really shine up to be a pretty nice car. And these things are kind of mediocre. They're not really valuable yet, I guess. They're selling for a few bucks. I mean, this one's obviously the worst of the worst. But if we can...
Yes, the DD Speed Shop way.
The DD Speed Shop affordability. So, I think we're gonna take a couple pictures of it and then really dump it off. I'd really like to bring it all the way home, but it's just not in the cards right now. I was gonna get all the paperwork sorted before we left, but I was like, A, didn't know if the Nomad was gonna make it. B, I didn't know if we were gonna have time to make this thing. And C, I didn't know if the Nomad would then be able to pull this thing home. So there's a lot up in the air there. And when you're going through, I think you gotta like have all the paperwork in 3 days before. You can only do it during the week. You can't do weekends. There's all sorts of stuff like at 9 to 5. You know how that stuff works. But now we know what we have. I'm kind of falling in love with it. I always do that when I get a car and I immediately lose interest. But in the worst place, it's closer to home, so now if it sits for 3 years, it's only like a 3-hour drive to go get it when I get the paperwork taken care of. So we'll head on back. We'll drop this thing off at our special location. Overpriced storage, I might add. But there's a cute dog that we can play with. And then we're headed home tonight. I'm ready to see the dogs. Alright, well, it should be the last fuel stop with the Bricklin in tow.
Oh.
It is friggin' hot out though. The car, we're towing it, it's starting to run like 195, 200 in some of the hills, so it's 36 or 8 degrees Celsius. I think it's close to 100 or mid-high 90s. So,
She hot.
car's hot, everything's just, it's hot. But let's get on the road. So we found
take your shirts off.
The cheap. Taking our shirts off? Can they even hear with
Only
the wind?
Dans.
Man, we're in like a wind turbine here. So we found some sucker here. It's gonna let us store for like 25 bucks a day based on the towing fee here. But Morton Repair World Headquarters is crazy, dude. The security to get in was ridiculous.
Except for now, he's out there sniffing the flowers.
He's gone. So look at the sign he gave us. Like the welcome.
We're so welcome that he came to North Dakota.
I love this guy. So I mean, we're gonna end up just ditching this Bricklin, and then I don't know wherever you want it. The back.
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
just right there.
It's fiberglass, right? So we can just put it in the slough.
Can we put it in the house garage actually? But anyways,
if it's fiberglass, it's basically a boat, so we can put it in the lake.
it's fiberglass with acrylic on top, so it's bathtub. You can't rust.
So you can fix it with tub and tile. So it is right up DD Speed Shop's body shop alley right there.
I'm gonna get a trowel from Home Depot and we're set on this thing. So we're gonna ditch this, we're gonna screw out Borski for a bit, and then we're headed to Taco John's.
Taco Wands.
And then home.
I have no idea who that is. But apparently he's glad that you came out as well.
Hi, Duff. Hi.
Don't show him my phone number on the collar. We have to.
Base model, eh?
Don't you dare think about welding the back doors shut.
I'll cut the toast up before I leave to help you out.
I like how everybody's like, make it two-door. And I'm like, if I could find two-door doors, I would just get the whole two-door car.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, when the first time I cut up, it was a two-door.
Look at that green interior, though.
This thing's nice.
Right? You just give her a click white.
You need a
Has it got a
real
motor in it?
good vacuum.
Yeah, 235, 3-speed. I can't afford V8s now. Oh yeah, you guys need to take it home and see if we got a tow bar, and the brackets are on the bumper.
Yeah, that's a honky tonky tow bar. That won't bend or nothing. It's drilled for speed rules. Like, what is that?
Right? Spare manifold, so I'm sure the exhaust manifold is cracked. Honky tonkin'. Urban cowboy here.
I got cowboy boots on.
gonna say, now if you can get this one to latch, you are definitely the Tri-5 king.
North Dakota.
No trespassing! Hippies aren't welcome!
Wow, the hate in America, it's real.
America!
It's America.
Truck, yeah.
What are you doing? We're dropping off, not picking up.
We already have the dolly. We can bring something even closer.
That thing's cool. Wow, they're already like going to work for you.
You guys want to take care of this shit?
Yeah, that's what peasants do for Hollywood douche canoes like you.
I like you more.
I'm not jumping into the steer because that thing is disgusting.
Don't do it. It's gross in there.
Take off the park brake. Hepatitis, see you later. Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, you guys just let me go there.
Let it go. Isn't that your favorite show?
I thought you had it. Well, we have entrusted the Bricklin with Wartsky. He's gonna take care of it. We'll get the paperwork sorted, and then we'll come back and visit him. And Duck Dog, we gotta drive by and see him here.
Hey, don't forget to take your sign.
Bye, Duff. Screw off, Wartsky. Look at that sign. That ain't 50 mile an hour. We're back in the land of kilometers and mooses. Made it through the border. This guy was actually super cool. Not so much questions, but it's always funny when you explain to him, you went where? For how long? An old car? They just don't get it. So now we're in Canada. We're about an hour and a half from the border, so I think next time you see us,
Doggies.
we'll be at home, and hopefully we'll see the dogs.
I'm already gonna cry.
Let's get home first. It's late. We made her back home. Look at all these junkers. So 5,000 miles, just under. Sun's just coming down. I think Danny's pretty excited to see the. Oh wow, somebody should mow back here. I think Danny's pretty excited to see the dogs. It's because there's been no dogs running around back here. It's like the jungle. All right, let the dogs out. Hi guys. Hi.
Hi babies! Hi babies! Hi babies! Hi babies!
Well, Frankie likes to take a whiz when she gets excited. There she goes.
Babies! Hi! Hi!
Well, that's where we're leaving it.
Hi!
Thanks for watching. We got some screwing around to do. Order some pizza.
Yeah, Mama home. Hi!
I gotta edit a video and go to work tomorrow.
Hi, Steven! Oh, kisses!